afternoon, guys. It's 4:10 p.m. Today is Tuesday and one more choppy day. So till this Friday, this is going to happen till October 18th. So if you don't want to trade, it's fine. Otherwise, just trade morning 1 hour, first hour, and that's it. Or you can trade end of the day after 3 p.m. In between, don't bother to trade. That is the pattern going on, but whether it will continue or not, I have no clue. But that is the stuff. I saw it. But anyway, so for today, as per yesterday's closing remarks, this is the common theme, right? I'm going to keep it till October 18th. Now this was the new stuff, right? So closing remark, holding below 76 in ES, 765 in NQ. Sellers are in active. I'm not saying going to say control, I'm going to say active. They are active and they did make a new low as per the expectation, so they are active, right? But at the same time, the low happens to be key level, 620 and this. So buyers are there available, buyers are active also from there. So now we are stuck between those levels, so then we can have a ping pong in RTH session. The real sellers will become more active if ES goes below this, which was not the case today, right? Entire day it held above this area. At the closing it tried to break below it, right? So this is useless till entire day, right? Because we trade pretty much entire day. NQ pretty much did the same thing. It held the 650 pretty much, entire day, and then at the end of the day it broke below, So now this one pretty much talks about the same thing, buyer sellers, NQ pretty much same thing here, right? So I'm not gonna walk you through everything here. Gold useless. Russell pretty much held 25 and then it tried to break below it. Let's see, where is Russell? Russell pretty much held 25, I would say. It broke below it but little bit and then it just back above 25. So Russell pretty much held 25. So there is a lot more pressure in Russell around 25 and 15 area, So that is what Russell is doing. Gold useless for trading, so no trading in gold. Crude, I haven't looked at it, but I hope it held 79.82, but anyway, so here, so I was short from 65 right here in pre-market, with 1 point stop above it, and I did not give up my contract up to 40. I was still holding it at 40. I was looking for this, so I'm just going to give you a walkthrough of what I did. So here I shorted it, I held it, and then finally I gave up somewhere around here, after 10:30 I just gave up, still this damn thing held it. Look at this, see? If I held it, I would have this right at the closing. That was my plan actually, but then this thing, I don't like to hold in a chop because everything was, see, only the short price was with me up to this point, but then chopping, that means price is not with me, and this was internals were against me 100% pretty much, right? So I can fight only up to certain points and then I have to give up. So I gave up here, but still I got few points, right? But now, so here I added more actually at 60, here of the open, but then finally I gave up everything here, and then I did not trade it. So because I don't want to trade in a chop, right? So now, so that was my trade. So of the open, you can go with me at 60 here, right? So it's a different arrow. It's not a regular valid setup, right? It is a setup, but it's not a valid setup based on everything else combining, right? Because internals were against it 100%, right? And why it's a not a regular setup, but still there is a setup here. Why? Because it was following the theme from the closing remark yesterday. It was holding it below. So price action wise, it was holding it below this, right? And so that's why in 65 is a good level too, this area. So it is a key area, right? 65, this, right? And it was following the theme from the closing remark, right? So that's why you take this short, you know, not ideal setup or valid setup like this, right? But you can still make a case of it, right? Then what happened? Then we have this balance, right? And then it broke down and then pull back, right? So this was a setup here. Hold on, like that, you know. So this small arrow is the exit for this guy, you know. So when price came down here straight down, right, it looks like it's an open drive down, which we were looking for in the morning in Discord, right? So open drive was going, but I was also talking about 40 level, right? That 40 may hold it because of exhaustion, bullish disconnect here, right? Price is below zero, this yesterday's close, right? So buyers can defend it, and they were holding it here, right? So that's why you take this long if you want to, but against open drive I didn't want to take long. Why? I can take exit, but I do not want to go long personally, as I already said that, right, in the Discord, because I was looking for open drive down, right? And I was holding shorts from this levels, right? And we had a breakdown below this, so that's why I didn't want to go long, but it was far away from this breakdown, so it can bounce based on this, right? So you take exit, you know, or you can go long too. That's why, but long was a valid setup. I choose not to take it, you know. So that's why it's a valid arrow here. And then you bail out here, right, because of this breakdown. And you can short also here, you know. But again, shorts are based on the price action. It's a valid setup because of the breakdown now, right? See, of the morning it is not valid setup because you don't know, but now after the breakdown this is a valid setup. You have to ignore the internals at that point, right? And then at back to 40 you manage it, but when you see these things, it's holding actually V up and mid, right? So still you can hold your trade, but now you can see it that these things and this thing are in sync, you know. Price is not going down, internals are holding, so you can bail out somewhere here, right? But at that point here, after you bail out, you can know, you know, it's a chop thing going on. Neither side is in control or active, right? Or both sides are active. So when price goes here again, right, you want to see what? Now you want to see a breakout because of these things, right? But look at AD, it's still balancing, right? So but because of momentum you can have a breakout, and breakout does not happen, and there is a small balance and breakdown, you know it's a choppy market. Most likely it is ping pong game, is going to go back here. So that's why you can take this short, not at 65 test, but after looking at this small breakdown you can take a short here, look for lower target, right? And then here you can do the same game, you know. So this is a different arrow though, okay, right? So that's how it is. Overall it's not a tradable price action, but you can make a case like this, you know. End of the day, as usual, break down below 36, pop back up. You can take a short here if you want to, but if entire day is chop, most likely the breakdown is not going to get successful. Price may go higher and higher and close right here, you know. That is the risk, you know? So I usually don't take this kind of trade when it is choppy, you know. I only take it if I see something very good, right? But day was choppy, so most likely it may not get successful execution and successful breakdown, you know. And at one point it happens, whoever shorted it right here, right, immediately when they saw price going above, they might have bailed out, you know, and then somebody stepped in here, you know, from yesterday's low or close to yesterday's low, and they took it down, you know. So now see, this day trading is becoming difficult and difficult nowadays, you know. We are able to get the morning trades out, but after 10:30 it is becoming choppier and troublesome, you know. And we are able to get trades out in the morning, but it is not exactly the way we want it, you know. We have to assume a lot of things, then take these trades, right? Because of this internals. So it is tough overall, but so I would suggest trade the morning and leave the afternoon alone, you know. Do not trade if you are profitable, do not trade again, you know. and this thing is going to go continue till this Friday or October 18th, and then we'll see how it goes, So overnight, I do not want to assume anything. See, yesterday we had a closing remark, right? But today I do not want to even put closing remark because I have no clue. Because ES is still holding above 43.15, right? So buyers are active from here. NQ is still holding above. NQ, actually I'd say sellers are still there, active, more active than ES. Because ES still holding above 43.15, NQ is holding below 710 to 765, right? So NQ has more sellers in it compared to ES, okay? So keep that in mind. So NQ you can favor sellers. When it pulls back higher, you can short. ES, you have to be very careful about your location, right? But now you can see it. Yesterday it broke below this area, key rotational area, right? Exchange area. Today also it spent a lot of time, and then it broke down, right, and closed lower. So now ES has a comparatively little bit more seller than yesterday below this area. As long as it's staying below 65, it has a little bit more sellers than buyers, okay? All it has to do is break below this 15 and then tank. That is what I'm looking for. So we'll see how it goes, and that be all for today.